F1 bosses accusing Red Bull of cheating. Mercedes team boss Toto Wolff suggested that he would look closer into Yuki Tsunoda's retirement from the Dutch Grand Prix if Mercedes was in a championship fight. Tsunoda retired in unusual fashion on Sunday from Zandvoort, coming to a stop on the circuit when he believed one of his tires was not properly attached. He returned to the pit lane for new tires and then was sent back onto the track, before coming to a halt once again. His stoppage caused a virtual safety car, which allowed Max Verstappen to pit from the lead and retain his position out in front. Some suggested that the maneuver could have been orchestrated, given AlphaTauri's close ties to Red Bull. So was Red Bull really cheating? Why does Toto Wolff want to look into Yuki's retirement? Let's dig deeper into this Red Bull controversy. Wolff says that if Mercedes was closer to the title fight this year, he would analyze Tsunoda's non-finish in a more detailed manner. I don't know, I'm still looking at us at the moment in terms of where do we need to find performance, Wolff said, when asked if he found Tsunoda's DNF suspicious. If we were to fight for a championship, that would be something I would closely look at. Tsunoda continued on his way after undoing his seatbelt when the AlphaTauri engineers didn't spot any irregularities in the data. Wolff also raised safety concerns over the situation, with the car being driven on the track in an unsafe manner. Now I think what needs to be investigated for the safety of drivers and everybody out there, the driver stopped, unbuckled, did a full lap, came in, the problem wasn't solved, they put the seatbelts back on, and he drove out and stopped the car again, he said. Verstappen went on to win the race for Red Bull after another safety car intervention was called following Valtteri Bottas' retirement from the Grand Prix. Marco also sees Red Bull making wrong choice. Helmut Marko is not so happy with the course of the first day for Red Bull Racing. The Austrian team's advisor had hoped to build on the good form of last weekend's race at Spa-Francorchamps, but the conclusion after Friday is that Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez have a lot of work to do, more than was hoped for. Based on the first two free practice sessions, it looks like the softs and mediums will be the main tires used this weekend. Red Bull couldn't do it on those tires, while it seemed to go well on the hard. Marko is honest with Austrian ORF in admitting that Red Bull made the wrong choice in preparation for the weekend. On hard tires, we were out in front and thought we were in a good position, but then we got the lid on it in second free practice. We drastically overestimated the importance of the hard tires, says Marko. The degradation of the tires is so low that we are unlikely to see the hard tire in action in Sunday's race. It looks like this tire will not be used at all, he said. Sunday's engrossing race seemed to be swinging towards a first Hamilton win of the season as he chased down Verstappen on much quicker tires, with the Red Bull driver needing to pit again. But that turned on its head when a virtual safety car was called on lap 48 of 72 for a peculiar Tsunoda stoppage. Tsunoda, who drives for Red Bull's sister team AlphaTauri, reported tire issues and appeared set to retire from the race as he stopped and unbuckled his safety belts, before being called back to the pits. After a series of checks, including the refastening of his straps, Tsunoda was again sent on his way, only for his team to tell him to stop again after just 4 corners. The VSC was then called and gave Verstappen an effective free stop to retain his lead, while he later overtook Hamilton after a full safety car, with the Mercedes driver eventually finishing 4th. Red Bull boss Christian Horner insisted it didn't actually play into Verstappen's hands, but Wolff opened the door for the conspiracy theories that have emerged online since the events. If we were to fight for a championship, that would be something I would closely look at, admitted the Mercedes team principal when asked if the governing FIA should investigate the incident. Now, I think that needs to be investigated for the safety of drivers and everybody out there. Wolff said that without the VSC, Verstappen would have left the pits trailing Hamilton by as much as 8 seconds. I think we would have had a fair shot at the win, he added. The race planner said the win was on. It was very close, but it was on. Tsunoda's issue has been confirmed to be a broken differential, while he also picked up a reprimand, giving him a 10-place grid penalty for this weekend's Italian GP for driving with loose safety belts. Providing his version of events, Japanese driver Tsunoda, 22, said, "I thought there was an issue and a problem with the left rear tire, so I got told by my engineer to stop. But we didn't see any clear issue in the data. That is why we rejoined to get back to the pits to fit a new tire, but after that we saw a clear issue in the data, so that is why we stopped for a second time." Asked what the failure was, Tsunoda replied, "I don't know." Asked after the race about Tsunoda's controversial stoppage, Sky Sports F1's Paul Di Resta was adamant. "You can't orchestrate that," he said. The radio messages back up that belief that this could not have been manipulated. Tsunoda repeatedly said on lap 45 that his tires are not fitted, leading to AlphaTauri to tell him to stop on a track in a safe place. 30 seconds later, they told him his tires are okay, start again. and said, "We box, we fit another tire, and we go out," making it clear they were always planning to send Tsunoda back out and hoped a tire change would help. Immediately in the pit exit, Tsunoda said, "Something wrong, something strange in the rear. This is broken, I think." AlphaTauri then responded, "Stop in a safe place." The failure was later diagnosed as a broken differential, which is rarely seen in F1 races. "The FIA have got all the information, all the team radio," added Di Resta. "Yuki's out there doing his own thing, and AlphaTauri are their own team. And I don't think the race was ultimately lost there for Hamilton." AlphaTauri responded to online hate after Tsunoda DNF. Following the online reaction to the incident, AlphaTauri have called out the hateful behavior directed at their team and Red Bull Racing's head of strategy, Hannah Schmitz. In a statement released on social media, the team said, "It is incredibly disheartening to read some of the language and comments directed at our team and towards Red Bull Racing's head of strategy, Hannah Schmitz." AlphaTauri has strongly condemned observers who suggested that there was any foul play behind Yuki Tsunoda's stoppage at Formula One's Dutch Grand Prix. Tsunoda stopped on track, believing he had a loose wheel, before returning to the pit lane after completing a slow lap. Tsunoda returned to the circuit, but was swiftly told to stop the ATO3 and did so between turns 3 and 4, which required the virtual safety car. Red Bull had committed to a two-stop strategy with Max Verstappen, and the VSC allowed him to make a stop while minimizing time loss and retaining the lead, prompting Mercedes to bring its drivers in anyway. Some social media users suggested the VSC was conveniently timed for Verstappen. On Monday, AlphaTauri, which explained post-race that Tsunoda suffered a failure, issued a strongly worded statement rejecting such comments. "It is incredibly disheartening to read some of the language and comments directed at our team and towards Red Bull Racing's head of strategy, Hannah Schmitz," read the statement. He also added, "Such hateful behavior cannot be tolerated, and to entertain accusations of foul play is unacceptable, untrue, and completely disrespectful towards both Hannah and us. We have always competed independently, fairly, and with the highest levels of respect and sportsmanship." Red Bull outlined post-race that the VSC actually hurt Verstappen's race as he wanted to fit softs for the final stint, but the VSC was too early to do so. The VSC caused by Tsunoda was ultimately followed by a full safety car after Valtteri Bottas also stopped on track. So what do you think about all this? Do let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Well, that's it from this video. We sincerely hope that you liked seeing this video. Please subscribe to our channel if you would like to see more of the stuff that we produce. We are overjoyed that you're able to be with us today, and we love the chance to do so again in the coming days. Bye bye.